Welcome to your track yoga video. Coach Dirk contacted me a couple weeks ago saying that he was creating a page for all you tracksters out there to continue working on some skills and so forth, and he was wondering if I would do a yoga video for you. So I am in my family's fire grain bin area, so hopefully the acoustics are fine. My phone is situated outside of this bin, so I'm hoping it does not fall over or that the noise of the road behind me and the wind doesn't go over my voice. So I'm not able to play music while I am doing this, so please feel free. This session is about an hour long, so please feel free to put on some relaxing music on your own. I can definitely share playlists with you if you would like, if you're not sure what that sounds like to you. But otherwise, we are just going to start on our mat today. It's going to be kind of a restorative practice, nothing too crazy. We'll start in easy seated position. Legs are crossed. We're sitting up tall. Shoulders rolled down and back. We're kind of bringing our chin in. Eyes are closed. Hands on our knees. And we're just beginning to breathe. And I should probably make sure I know what time. So beginning to breathe in and out through the nose as evenly as possible. In for 4 and out for 4. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. Letting the air expand the lungs. Fill the stomach. Bringing yourself to the mat today and to your practice. Setting an intention for your practice today. Maybe you just need a little time to escape from quarantine. Some time to come to yourself. Maybe actively tell your face muscles to relax. I can tell myself that I'm very clenching my jaw. So go ahead and relax into this pose. And so very gently, we're still sitting up tall, shoulders are down and back. Go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest. Letting gravity pull the chin down with every breath. With every exhale, getting deeper and deeper. One final inhale here. As you exhale very slowly, take the entire exhale to roll back up to center. We're just going to stretch the neck out a little bit more. We tend to hold some stress and tension up here. So we'll take that right arm out to the side. And you're going to take your left hand and very gently tilt that head down towards the left shoulder. And then close your eyes and return back to that even breathing. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, very slowly release that head, bring it back to center. Right hand back to your knee. Go ahead and we'll do some shoulder circles. So up and down. And then the other way, so forward. Beginning to warm up the body, and now stretching out that left side of the neck. You'll extend that left hand out to your side. Bring your right hand up and very gently tilt that right hand down, your right ear to your right shoulder. Send your breath to wherever it feels tight. Taking one final inhale. As you exhale, releasing that head and bringing both hands back to your knees. And once again, just very gently rolling out those shoulders. Kind of move around a little bit, stretch it out. We'll also do some wrist rolls today. So just a joint we don't oftentimes think about. Go ahead and roll the wrists. And then in the other direction. And then squeeze and let go. All right. And so we're going to inhale those arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up, take the entire inhale. Exhale the heart center. And one more time, inhaling up. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and hinge forward at the hips and drop the hands wherever they land. Don't overstretch. And relax the head. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, very slowly roll yourself back up to center. Shake it out. All right, so inhale the arms up, stretching up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. And as your hands are at heart center, go ahead and kind of lean back and switch your feet. All right, we're still in easy seated position, but now it's just on the other side. So inhaling those arms up. Exhale, heart center. Inhaling the arms up. And as you exhale, hinge forward, lean. Place your hands down wherever they feel comfortable and relax the head. Remembering to keep that even breathing. Taking one final inhale here. As you exhale, slowly working your way back up to center. Shake it out. All right, and now I'm going to switch directions. So you're still in the center of your mat. You're going to rock up. and we're gonna come into tabletop. So tabletop, your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are directly underneath your hips, and just kind of check yourself. Do you have even weight coming down into both hands? Are you spreading your weight evenly amongst your knees? Are you leaning off to one side? All right, just check and make sure that you are, in fact, evening out your table. So just staying here. Coming back to that breath. And then extending out that right leg, we're going to go into a calf stretch. So stretching out that right calf. Bringing that right leg back in, we're going to stretch out the left calf. So kick out the left calf. Maybe it helps you to kind of rock back and forth a little bit to stretch out that calf. That's all right. I really should have put my hair up on the other side. Bringing that left foot back in, we're coming back into tabletop. We're going to come into some cat and cow. So we are going to inhale, you're going to press your shins down into the mat, tilt the hip, drop the belly, and raise your gaze. That is coming into cow. And as you exhale, you are going to come into cat. So you're going to drop your chin, push away from the mat, and round your shoulders. So doing this at the pace of your own breath. Couple more on your own. You'll then meet me back in tabletop, and we are going to come into extended child's pose. So opening up those knees about mat distance apart, toes together. You're just going to send those hips back and place your head down on the mat. If that is uncomfortable, you can also always place your hands on top of each other and place your forehead there. But we're just opening up those hips. Making sure that you're breathing evenly. In for 4 and out for 4. Taking one final inhale. As you exhale, pushing up out of child's pose. We're going to keep the bottom half in that extended child's pose position. But we're going to now thread the needle to stretch out that upper back. So placing that left hand in the center, you're going to inhale and bring the right arm up. And as you exhale, you're going to thread it through underneath that left arm. We're going to inhale one more time, inhale it up, and as you exhale, you'll come through and set your weight on top of that right shoulder. And for some of you, this might be enough. Otherwise, you can bring that left hand out straight in front of you. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, bring that left hand back in front of your face. Push up. Extend that right hand one more time and come back down to the mat. All right, we're going to repeat that on the other side. So the right hand is in the center. As you inhale, you're going to bring that left arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to come down and thread through, but it's just a prep. Inhaling one more time up. And as you exhale, coming back through and placing that weight on your left shoulder. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, placing that right hand in front of your face and using that palm to help press you up. Extend up and come down. Bring those knees back in towards the center. We're going to do a couple more cat and cows. So inhaling the cow. And as you exhale, pushing up into cat. Coming back to center, we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So we're going to bring those hands, about one hand hold in front of where they were at. They're shoulder width apart. You're going to curl your toes, and then you're going to press up into downward facing dog. All right, so this is my first downward facing dog in quite a while. Miss P hasn't been real productive in her practice since quarantine began. So I'm a little tight, so go ahead and just bicycle out or pedal out those legs. Right? You don't want to overstretch those hamstrings right off the bat. And it's okay if you can't place your heels down to the ground. That's okay. And then find some stillness in this pose and breathe. So inhaling, looking to your hands. As you exhale, walk those feet to meet your hands, and we'll be in a forward fold. So as your feet are about hip distance apart, you're bending those legs so that your stomach touches your thighs. You're releasing that head, letting it hang. So inhaling, do a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, grounding down with your feet and rolling yourself all the way up. Bringing those arms up above you. And as you exhale, hands to heart center. All right. Right here, go ahead and kind of shake it out. Miss P obviously gets a little tight in those upper shoulders and those traps. All right. So we're going to do sun salutation A. So we've done quite a few of these. We're going to inhale those arms up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, do a half lift. Exhale, placing those hands down to the mat and stepping back into a high plank. Take one inhale here. As you exhale, lean forward and lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. As you exhale, curl those toes, push back into downward facing dog. And we're going to be here for a few breaths. So inhaling, looking to your hands. As you exhale, step or hop to meet your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring yourself all the way to standing. Arms above your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, place those hands down to the mat and step back into a high plank. Take one inhale here. As you exhale, lean forward and lower yourself all the way down to the mat with control. Inhale to cobra. As you exhale, curl those toes, push back into downward facing dog. Inhaling, looking to your hands. As you exhale, step forward with the right foot into a high lunge on the right side. So high lunge, making sure your knees, you can still see your toes. All right, you don't have your heels sealed. All right, you're on your toes, that back foot. All right, and those hips are squared with the front of your mat. And make sure that when your arms are up, you want to make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears. So actively making sure that those shoulder blades are down. Working on that balance. We are then going to airplane those arms, leaning forward and coming into a runner's lunge. So we're just leaning over that right full, that right quad. Ms. P is definitely regretting the 5-mile rollerblade she just did. And then taking one more inhale. As you exhale, bringing those hands back up, we're coming back into a high lunge. And then dropping that left knee, we are in a low lunge. So a low lunge, a lot of you want to really lean forward. No, you can still get the benefits of a nice hip flexor stretch with 90-degree angles. All right, and so you're going to put your hands on your hips and you're going to engage that left quad. And you should notice that you do have a stretch in your left hip flexor. And so then just breathing. And I can see my reflection in here, and I can tell I'm not at 90s, so I'm working on that as well. If you would like a little bit more of a full body stretch, we can bring those arms up. As a reminder, keep those shoulders away from the ears and look up towards the sky. And then bringing those arms back down, you are then going to place your left hand on your right knee. You're going to twist to the right. And if possible, if this is enough, you can stay here. You're going to reach for that left foot. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, release that left foot, swing those arms up. And we're going to come right back up into that high lunge, working on those balancing skills. Taking one inhale. As you exhale, airplane those arms. We're going to come back into that runner's lunge. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, coming back up into that high lunge. Taking one inhale. As you exhale, dropping those hands down to the mat. And we are going to step back into downward facing dog. And then you are going to inhale that right leg high, opening up your hips to the right. Maybe bending that right knee. Extending out that leg one more time. And then bringing that right leg up and through on the outside of your right hand for lizard pose. So lizard pose, remember, it's on the outside of your right foot. And you can stay right here. Otherwise, you can drop that right knee out to the outside. Wherever you're comfortable, this is your journey. Taking one final inhale here. As you exhale, if you dropped your knee out, go ahead and bring it straight. Ground down with those hands and step back into downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out those feet. We did some work. So inhaling, looking to the front. As you exhale, step forward with the left foot into a high lunge on the left side. So I notice that the sun is going down and it's getting kind of cloudy. I'm really hoping that A, it doesn't rain, and B, I don't lose sunlight. So we're in that high left lunge. Balance could be tricky. Most of us do have a better side. Make sure that those shoulders are away from your ears. I struggle with that as well. And we're just breathing. Taking one more inhale. You guessed it, as we exhale, we're going to airplane those arms down, leaning over, coming into a runner's lunge on the left side. So you should feel it in that left glute. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, coming back up into that high lunge, and then dropping down that right knee. We're going to be in that low lunge. So remember, stretching out that hip flexor, 90s and 90s. All right. So to get that hip flexor stretch, you're going to engage that right quad. We're going to sit up straight. And then for that full body stretch, we're going to inhale those arms up. Maybe even clasp those hands together into steeple grip. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, bringing those hands down. And then we're going to come into that twist. So if you recall, we're going to place that right hand on your left knee and then reach for some of us, just going ahead and trying to reach for that right leg works. Otherwise, if you feel like you're balanced, go ahead and grab that left foot or that right foot for a nice gentle quad stretch. Taking one final inhale here. As you exhale, releasing that right leg, coming back to center. We're going to come back up into that high lunge. Take one inhale. As you exhale, sweeping those hands, coming back down into a runner's. One more inhale here. As we exhale, coming back up. Taking one inhale. As you exhale, bringing those hands down to the mat, stepping back into downward facing dog. Isn't it funny how sometimes downward facing dog feels like such a relief? I don't know about you guys, but it feels nice. All right, so inhaling that left leg high, opening up those hips, even weight on both hands, and dropping that knee behind that right hip. Extending up and coming back down into downward facing dog. Inhaling, looking to your hands. As you exhale, step forward with the left foot on the outside of your left hand, and we'll come into lizard on the left side. So as a reminder, this is your practice. You can choose to keep your knee straight. You can choose to drop it off to the side, whatever feels best to you. Taking one final inhale here. As you exhale, bring that knee back to center. Ground down with those feet, with those hands and those toes, and step back into downward facing dog. All right, so then next, what you're going to do is you're going to bring those feet. Oh, I can't do that. It is very dusty and slippery. About mat distance apart. This is a wide downward facing dog. You should feel a slight different stretch. We're going to inhale into plank, and exhale, we're going to touch our left foot with our right hand, and we're just going to continue with that. So inhale to plank, exhale left hand, right foot, inhale to plank, exhale. And we're just going to continue with this. And then coming into a wide downward facing dog. Bringing those feet back together, dropping those knees to the outside, and pushing back into an extended child's pose. Using this time to maybe get a drink of water. I wish I would have brought a water bottle out. Or just catching your breath and coming back to that breath. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, coming back up and pushing back into downward facing dog. You're going to inhale that right leg high, but you're going to keep your hips parallel to the ground. So we're not opening up those hips, we're keeping them straight. So you're more than likely not going to be able to raise your leg as high. I know I'm not. Feeling that nice stretch along the left leg. And then you're going to bring that knee forward, and we're going to come into pigeon on the right side. So pigeon, the goal is to try to get your shin parallel to the mat, but rarely are all of us that flexible. So you can stay right here. This is where your body is telling you to stay today. You can come down to your forearms. You can even come down to your forehead, whatever feels best. And coming back to that breathe. In for 4 and out for 4. Taking one final inhale. As you exhale, go ahead and walk those hands up so you're sitting up. We're still in pigeon. We're going to come into another quad stretch. So staying here, maybe placing our right hand on our right knee, but we're going to bend that left leg and reach behind us with the left hand. And it is also a nice stretch. It's a chest stretch. It's an arm stretch. It's very nice. Taking one final inhale. As you exhale, releasing that leg back down to the mat. Grounding down with those hands, curling those toes. We're going to then hop up, come forward, and be in a straddle fold. So straddle fold, as you recall, heels are further apart than your toes, and you're bending down, hinging down at the hips, and we're just stretching. Maybe we're going back and forth, whatever feels good for you, whatever your body is telling you it needs. So inhale to half lift. So the wind definitely knocked you down, as I suspected it would. So we're still in that straddle fold, I hope. Oh my gosh, it got so windy in the last 5 minutes. Okay, hoping it stays right there. Okay. All right, so we're in that straddle fold. Oh my gosh! All right, we can do this, guys. Bear with me. It's like distance learning, right, guys? All right. Oh my gosh, I may not be able to finish my video. We can do this. We can do this. Okay. Okay, so we were in that straddle fold. All right, so we're gonna bring our hands, go back to the front of the mat, and we're going to place those hands down to the mat and step back into a high plank. And we're just gonna stay here. We're going to breathe. And we're not allowing our shoulder girdle to like collapse. We have a strong shoulders. We're pressing down evenly with those hands. And then we're going to press back into that downward facing dog. Very nice. All right, so repeating on the other side, we're going to inhale that left leg straight up, keeping those hips parallel to the mat. We're not opening them. Maybe flex point, flex point. Feeling that stretch, please listen to my voice along the outside or the back of that right leg. I'm trying to get this to work, guys. I'm not sure. Alright, so left leg's up. We're then going to look forward and bring that left leg through and come into pigeon on the left side. So I'm definitely a lot less flexible on the left side. So my shin is not as parallel to the front of the mat, but that's all right, we're working on that. So you can stay right here if this is what's comfortable. You can come down to your forearms. You can even press your forehead down to the mat. It's whatever is comfortable for you. And then send your breath to wherever you feel it needs to be. One final inhale in this pigeon pose. We're going to bring those hands up. And we're going to come into that quad / chest stretch. So you can place your left hand on that left knee. Bend that right leg. Bring that right hand. And reach around and grab that right foot. And try to keep your chest facing the front. That's how you're going to get that shoulder and chest stretch. And taking one final inhale. As you exhale, release that foot. Bring your hands down to the mat. Ground down. Step back into a downward facing dog. And then we'll come into a high plank. And we're going to hold it. So make sure your neck is not like hanging down. Or tuck that chin. Taking one final inhale. As you exhale, drop those knees off to the side and push back into child's pose. Taking one final inhale. As you exhale, press back up into tabletop. We're then going to sit back towards our feet and roll, sit down and bring those feet out in front of us. All right, just a nice little transition. All right, so you're still facing the front. I just thought I'd face you. So now we're going to come into bound ankle pose. So we're going to bring those bottoms of the feet together. And you can grab those feet. And so if this is enough of a stretch for some of us, we can stay here. But for some of us, you can use those elbows and kind of lean forward and force those knees down a little bit further. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, very slowly coming back up. Right, we're going to come into an easy seated position just for some arm stretches. So you're going to bring that right arm in front of you. We're just going to stretch it, a nice basic shoulder stretch. And then releasing. We're going to repeat on the other side. So bringing that left arm over. And then releasing that, some shoulder rolls, very good. All right, so we're gonna come into seated tree. So we didn't do any balance poses today, but I figured that that's fine. We're gonna extend out that right leg out in front of us. Tuck the left one so that the left bottom of the foot is touching the right thigh. So you're in tree, we're just sitting down. Sit bones are flat. We're going to inhale up. And as you exhale, you're going to lean and fold forward over that right leg. So it's not a competition. You're not trying to, right? It's wherever your hands fall. Keep that foot flexed and bent fold forward. Taking one final inhale here. As you exhale, very slowly roll your way back up. All right, we're gonna switch sides. So seated tree on the left side. So the bottom of your right foot is on the inside of your left thigh. The left leg is extended out in front of you, sitting flat on your sit bones. We're gonna inhale up. And as you exhale, folding forward. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, very slowly making your way back up to sitting. All right, so we're gonna actually work our way down, do a few stretches on our back, and then we'll enter our favorite pose, Shavasana. So we're about to make our way down. So with control, we're gonna very slowly work our way down. All right, we're gonna come and we're going to bring up our right knee and hug our right knee to our chest. Now when I'm here, I really like to just focus on my ankle because I don't really do that very often. So I flex point my feet, I roll it around. It just feels kind of good. And then very gently, just lessening up on that, squeeze a little bit. We're gonna come into a spinal twist. So keeping that left hand on your left knee, or on that right knee, and making sure that your shoulders stay flat on the ground. We're going to go ahead and drop that right knee over to the left side. And if you would like an even deeper twist, you can look over your right shoulder. Taking one final inhale here. As you exhale, coming back to center, squeezing that knee to your chest one more time, and then releasing it. Very nice. All right, we're gonna repeat on the other side. So bringing that left knee to your chest, giving it a nice hug, and once again, showing that ankle some love. So flex point, flex point. I'm old, so you can probably hear all my joints cracking. All right, but we're just kind of hugging that knee. So taking one final inhale. As you exhale, we're going to come into that spinal twist. So right hand on your left knee to help guide your knee. Keeping both shoulder blades on the ground, you're going to drop that left knee over to the right side. And then look over your left shoulder. hugging that knee one more time. Alright, and then bringing that down. Alright, so we are going to enter our final pose, Shavasana, today. So I'm going to help you get into Shavasana. So you're just going to relax those shoulders, palms facing up. Let those toes fall out. Like, don't try to stiffen up those legs. Close your eyes. And just begin to relax and fall into the mat. So at this point, you're no longer going to need to watch the screen, but you can listen to me as I use this 61-point meditation to help you guide yourself into a deeper meditative state during this Shavasana. So as I mentioned the body point, go ahead and actively think about that body part. Relax it and let go. All right, you're moving forward, you're releasing your energy towards something new, you're moving forward. All right, so eyes closed, we're going to relax, and we're going to start with the center of your forehead. Your lips, the base of the front of the neck, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, right pointer finger, right middle finger, right ring finger, right pinky, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, base of the front of the neck, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left thumb, left pointer finger, left middle finger, left ring finger, left pinky, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, base of the front of the neck, center of chest, right of chest, left of chest, center of chest, your stomach, right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, right second toe, right third toe, right fourth toe, right fifth toe, right ankle, right knee, right hip, left hip, left knee, left ankle, left big toe, left second toe, left third toe, left fourth toe, left fifth toe, left ankle, left knee, left hip, your stomach, the center of your chest, the base of the front of the neck, your lips, your eyes, and the center of your forehead. don't want to deprive you of an asana or a shavasana. So whenever you're ready, begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, very gently rock your head side to side, waking up those sleeping limbs. And then only when you're ready, bend your knees and roll into a fetal position to whichever side calls to you this evening, using that bottom hand as a place to rest your head. Keep your eyes closed. Take in these final moments of peace and relaxation that you have created for yourself today. This time that you've taken for yourself. Embrace it. Enjoy it. And then when you're ready, using that top hand to help push you up into an easy seated position, facing the front of your mat. Eyes are still closed. Hands are at heart center, connecting with that beating of your heart and your breath. Not judging, not observing the breath. Just observing it. Thank you for taking this time today to do a little bit of yoga with Ms. P. It has been an absolute honor to be able to work with all of you. And I wish you all the very best, and I hope that you are all doing so well. And just know that Ms. P loves you. So, the light and the spirit in me honors the light and spirit in each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me today.